Hello guys, it's Skyence Projects and Games here with my first video back from 6 weeks of being outdoors. So this here is a little video I put together of a launch I did to a new space station and showing some problems with it. You know, clearly it blows up. That's a problem. So let's see how I solved it. Okay, so I'm reverting it back to vehicle assembly, and let's see if we can get a good look at the support structure. Okay, so I don't know if you can see very well, but that the payload has a lot of I-beams and a lot of struts. So here I tried to solve it by putting more struts from the I-beams into the payload. And then just strutting it up some more. So let's see how that worked. Alright, so here we are after strutting up the payload some more. So far looking good. If you notice, I have SAS turned off. Yeah, looking good so far. Going to map screen and targeting Space Station Earth. Okay, I'm done. Wait. Here you go, and there's a bit of wobble. Actually, that's not a bit of wobble, that's a lot of wobble. Yeah, that's a problem. So, I reverted back to vehicle assembly, and, yeah. I do a few more tries of this, so I'm going to cut it out and head to the final try and show you the changes. Alright, so, take a look at this. I've removed the payload fairing, even though that will cause more drag. It's alright. I've got a lot of RS-25. No, it's a Kerbal Space Program. RS-25s are space shuttle engines. But those are the Kerbal Space Program version of the shuttle engines. Anyway, so you can see I've removed the payload fairing, and then I've added more structure on the first stage, and so far it's looking good, even with SAS. So yeah, let's just watch us launch. I think I'm going to speed up the rest of this, so yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm just following, actually I'm not following standard launch procedures here. What I'm doing is going straight up, then I'll make the turn. It's very inefficient, but I don't want this falling over inside the atmosphere. And outside the atmosphere, we don't have that problem. So that's why I'm doing it that way. If you notice, I'm throttling back at about 1,200 meters per second to help avoid overheating of all those struts and stuff. I don't know whether struts can get overheated, but I'm not going to take the risk because I've got quite a few of them. Yeah. Now, as you can see, I'm just burning up, and what I want to do is get that. This was a actually awesome chance. I did not plan it out at all, but I got the app-axis aligned with the descending node, I think, or ascending node. Doesn't matter, but it means I can change my normal and anti-normal vectors to match another orbit. Okay, so I slowed it back down here. So let's watch at the majesty of it, I guess not majesty, gracefulness of its decoupling. So I manually decouple it, and the game freezes for a few seconds. There we go. And let's just power on out. So look at that, that was my first stage. I'm, with so many struts, so many girders. It was very inefficient to launch, but you know what? It worked. Right? There we go. I think I'm going to speed the next part up because it's just docking, but I will want to show you the actual trouble of getting the payload out of its little cage. I guess cage is the best word for it. So yeah, I'll cut through that all, I think, because I've got really nothing to say. It's one thing that I'm bad at being a YouTuber. I run out of things to say. So anyway, I'm going to cut this out and cut out the docking process and come back when it gets close. Alright, so here we go. I just undocked this, and now I'm trying to figure out how to get this out. It gets stuck a few times. I mean, it's not a small payload. And if you notice, since it's not a small payload, I've got, a science lab in there. ISRU. I don't know why I have that in a space station. Don't know why I built that, but oh well. And I've got 5 of those, 20 thruster blocks. I guess about maybe 24 or 25, something, not 24, 24 or 28 of those little one-directional thruster things. I mean, I was just doing this because it's a big payload, I mean, as you can clearly see. So I don't want it running into things or whatnot. One thruster block would not be able to control this at all. And I've got a lot of monopropellant on this. And yeah, I'm just easing it on in. Standard docking. Oh, and I didn't overshoot. So I guess you kind of got a glimpse of my space station there. But I'm just going to dock at the node up top. And I'm actually really proud of the space station. So when we get docked, I'll show you a bit of it. So yeah, I'll set that as target, as I usually do. Yeah, thrust in. I mean, I think most of you guys have seen my docking tutorial video, so it shouldn't be too hard to understand what I'm doing. But, I think part of the reason I'm saying that is because I've got nothing to say. Anyway. So there we go, we're zooming on in. And I'm trying to get above because the adapter is pointing to the, I guess up. Well, not up, there's no open space. Towards the north. Well, towards the North Pole. It's parallel to towards the North Pole. Yes. I don't know. Anyway, but, I mean, you know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to maneuver it. So you can see I've got 6 docking ports, 2 on the ends and 4 right by the cupola. But I want this 4 sticking up as far away from the solar panels as possible. I've got 4 more on one of those little cube structural docking port things. And I don't know why I paused it here, so I'm going to cut it out and I can come back in a bit. Alright, so I skipped ahead a bit, but yeah, basically I'm coming in, got it all lined up, I'm getting the docking ports aligned. This docking was actually really hard. Excuse me, this docking was actually really hard, but I'm still a little worried about the solar panels. You can see me rotating it, which made the docking really hard, because then the thrust areas were now pointing it in the right direction. Anyway, so I'm going to speed up the next part. Well, no, we're coming in. So anyway, I'm trying to find how to thrust in one direction, and it's not working. Well, I don't know if I said this earlier, but my I, J, K, and L keys always seem messed up to me. They always are wrong and confusing. And this just, it was wrong for this one. It made it confusing, but with the rotation, not rotate. I don't know. You know what I think could have solved it? Is if I'm just thinking in terms of space station. Yeah, okay. So, I guess kind of learning from this. If you're trying to offset the docking ports like I'm trying to do here to prevent the ships from possibly bumping into the solar panels, just don't look at the space station, I guess. Anyway, that was confusing me. So yeah, I recorded a bunch of other videos, but since internet connection in my house is really slow, I only uploaded, 3 of them. Well, 3 videos so far, but I've got probably 5, I've probably got 4, maybe 4 or 5 pre-recorded. So I'm going to start uploading this. I just wanted to make this little video saying, hey, I'm back. To my 3 subscribers, I'm back. making videos. Yeah, but this was the biggest payload I've ever sent into space. Docking video. As soon as I managed to dock it. Come on. Come on. Almost there. And I think we get it in. Almost. Yes, there we go. If you can see that payload is almost as big as the rest of that combined. But go away, Google Maps. No one likes you. So, anyway. Thanks for watching on Skyence Projects and Games. I'll send out a few more videos later on. But yeah, until then, goodbye. Keep Kerbal Space programming, and yeah, whatnot.